Live now, Chi-Town. Big ups, Inglewood, Cali, and everyone else. Big show tonight. Mouthpiece included. Silverbacks are in the building. We're going to cover our weekly hot topics. First, we'll give you some time to like, share, subscribe, as we're going to do the same on this end and take care of some behind the scenes business. It's all about the Bears. We got some Bears activity going on. Hold on, stand by. There's a number going up there. Mouthpiece included. Better guard your grill out there. Better guard it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Absolutely, fair use.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can
Man, why do they keep the honey around here? Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like
Oh,
a gaggle of
cheese,
girls?
Al.
The Bears.
Who wants cheese head?
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls? The Bears!
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a...
Well, guys, let's go to the swimming pool. Let's go take a shower. Let's go water skiing.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
There he is.
Be sure to bring a towel so you don't get all wet.
Police in South Florida
Nice.
say Pittsburgh.
Don't forget to bring a towel, and you for doggone sure, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. You heard? Don't forget to bring said activity. Gonna talk some playoffs. Playoffs. We got some big topics to unpack today in the week. It's been a big week in sports, politics. This is our Spolitics show. It's always open mic. Feel free to pull up, slide through. Whatever you're calling it these days, pull up, slide through. And when you do, you better guard your grill, knuckle up. If your doggone show, better not forget to bring your young mouthpiece. All right, so y'all know today's show, we always started off at the top, but how about them Bears? Then we go to how about those Bulls? And then we'll cover the Cubs, White Sox, if we got any new 411 on them accordingly. Then, of course, our hottest topic is the Chicago Bears all-time offense. And the format we're using is one tight end, one fullback, one running back, one quarterback, two guards, two tackles. And of course, 2 wide receivers, 2 wideouts. So we want to know who you would put where. Slide through. I'll drop the link into the chat shortly. And all are welcome. So let's get our Jackie Robinson's finest manager / coach, mentor, Southside aficionado, Chicago Southside aficionado in the building. What say ye, bro? What say you, fool?
Greetings from the south side of Chi-Town. Happy Thursday to one and all. Hope everyone is living healthy, wealthy, and wise, if not aspiring to do as such. What's going on? Everything's cool here in Chi. Cool as I mean the weather. We warmed up for a couple days. All the people came out. Now we're back down in the 40s, 30s. Everything's good.
I don't know what to do. 40s and 30s, bro. Let me drop this link in the chat so people can pull up.
Yeah,
all right, I just dropped the link into the chat.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
It'll be about 30 degrees tonight, 32. I know you're having a heat wave out there on the left coast.
Well, we actually, bro, the temperature had dropped a couple days ago. We had high winds and by drop. So it was like a heat wave, like you said, like 90 something. And then it dropped down to like 60, something like that. But it was windy, man. So, you know, I mean, super high winds.
We had similar weather, except for instead of that 90, we got to, close to 70. And now we're, our high today was 50 with high winds.
All right. We got resident Silverback, because he's hot on these Bears topics. Diesel, he's I think he's going to be Foles' agent here any day soon. Let me ask him to unmute.
In the building.
Nick Foles, agent in the building, bro. Go ahead and give us a little intro. Give us some back talk, and then we're going to jump it on off there, fella.
Yeah, let's do it. I got the Butt Brothers back together again tonight. Let's bring it.
Such a hater.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna jump into it. Let's hit that theme music one more time, because I really appreciate that. Everybody knows the format here. We just went, and anybody else, you're welcome to pull up. You know what I mean? Yeah, get on topic, but be prepared. You know, if you don't want to comment on who your all-time team is, that's all right. We got other topics here that we're going to discuss, and you can just drop off at the end if that floats your boat. All right, so we're going to start this one off with our first topic. We're going to start with let's start with the Cubs and the White Sox. Y'all got any Cubs? Hey, I told you, Ace, my Cubs, man, they gonna mess around and get a playoff spot, man. Y'all sleep on the Cubs, but I'll start with Diesel. What you got? You got any Cubs or White Sox talk? And then we're gonna throw it to Ace.
Yeah. So the Cubs, looks like they the guy they got from Japan was a good move, because he looks like he can provide them some stick for most of the stick that they lost. It looks like they still got good pitching, so they'll be able to.
Is he a lefty? Is he a lefty or a righty?
A righty, I believe. As long as they pitching, if they pitch, they can compete, possibly get a spot. For the Sox, it's pretty much the same thing. I told you I don't trust the closer. I didn't like neither. I liked it, Kimbrel, better than this dude. He's all show and talk, man, but he be constantly, even when they win, he give up runs. So I don't trust him at all. What's the dude's name? The closer, Hendricks.
Yeah, Kimbrick, Hendricks.
Is he the closer now? I thought he was a starter. The ace.
No, that's for the Cubs.
No, yeah, he moved on to the Sox. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, y'all. Full disclosure.
Yeah, I don't trust him at all. And the Sox, the only thing you really have to worry other than him as the closer, you do got to worry about a couple of the starters because we don't know what they're going to do. But the lower part of the lineup, can they get some production from the lower part of the lineup? Because the first like 5-6 batters, it's going to be rough on whoever pitching. It's going to be rough because all of them can go. And can you keep people like Eloy healthy? So he plays so carefree, but he's got a talent, but he always seems to get himself hurt on the simplest of things. So.
All right, and then so Ace, I'm gonna throw it to you, but before we do so, we're gonna give it some context. Right now, the White Sox are tied for first at 4-2 with the Guardians. I guess you can't say engines no more. And then my Cubbies, I'm a South Side, North Sider. The Cubbies are in first place, which I said you guys were low on them. I said, man, because they got so much in the kindling, man. They may not have that big popping star, but they got some depth. But they're 3-2 right now, and they're tied for first with those awful Cardinals. The Augie Bush people, and the Brew Crew is right behind them at 4-3. So, Ace, I'm gonna throw it to you with some Cubs, White Sox, or baseball talk.
Well, it's early. It's early in the season. Great to see both of those teams in first place for a week. So the Cubs went out and got him a motorcycle. Went and got a Suzuki, and it's really helped him. He's crushing the ball.
Can you say Suzuki on YouTube? I don't know if you can say that, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's his name. Come on. If he's going to get him to the playoffs, you're going to be seeing Suzuki's all over the place. But the guy's been hitting the ball, and until Major League adjusts and stop pitching to him, the Cubs have been successful. White Sox wise, just like last year, the starting pitchers are injured. Giolito went out on the first day. Lance Lynn is hurt. And we had a shaky start with our bullpen. Liam Hendricks is his name. There's another Hendricks on the Cubs, but Liam Hendricks is the closer for the White Sox. And he gives up runs. I don't know about Kimbrel. They just couldn't get rid of him.
Well, neither one of them was great, but Kimbrel to me was better than this dude. This dude acts like he's the greatest thing ever when he's always giving up runs. Always.
Kimbrel, is that the dude who bent over like somebody punched him in his stomach? When he's standing on the bump.
Yeah. Cubs unloading him on the White Sox, and it's been a bust ever since. But I don't know, man. I think time will tell. The White Sox need to still be working on getting some starting pitching. I don't know where they're going to get it from or who they're going to use to trade, or who can come up from the minor leagues. But got pitching problems as far as our starters are concerned. And that's a big concern going into the playoffs. You can win the division, yeah.
Playoffs? Playoffs? You kidding me right now? Playoffs?
What do you do when you get to the big games? When you need that horse on your staff and he's not there. So we'll see what happens.
All right. And so, like I said, full disclosure, I unplugged from all of that. Hey, this is my Orangeman jersey.
Yeah.
Forgot what job I was at, but we played in that league. Yeah. All right. I think we took it too. Yeah, man. Self-love you out there. Yeah, I think we took that league. Yeah. All right. So what any moves y'all think that either team needs to make? Y'all talking a lot about pitching. So I'll start that with Ace. What moves would you make as either upper management for those ball clubs, Chicago ball clubs?
The White Sox need pitching. They need a starting pitcher, but we knew that in the entire offseason. They never made a move. So, it's definitely tough to get pitching now because the season started. You have to, maybe pick up the guy out of L.A. that had the case against him. I don't know, but you got to find somebody that's good that nobody wants. And, it's just always tough to find a guy that can eat innings and maybe be around when the playoffs starts or when the games start count.
You kidding me right now? Playoffs? I was working for Unger and Associates. I just remembered. Go ahead though.
Yeah. Congratulations to you. And anyway, but but we'll see. We'll see. Starting pitching always tough to keep. Always tough to hold on to. But for whatever reason, the Sox starters falter as far as strength is concerned toward the end of the season, and they need to pick up some more pitch. Never can have enough pitch.
Both ball clubs, you're saying starting pitching is what you would be looking at?
Well, everybody needs pitching, every team, but
right. Even Jackie Robinson.
It's more of a problem for the Sox because they're pretty much looking at a guaranteed playoff spot in their division. So you want to be building to your pitching staff to come around to the end of the season to be strong when you're going into that first playoff position or first playoff series. So
all right. He's a South Sider. He don't like to talk Cubs. Diesel, what moves would you make as a South Sider if you were Stan and you were running that ball club, and then also what you do on the North side, bro?
For both teams, you gotta wait now. You can't rush. It's only I don't think they played a week's worth of games yet.
Second week.
So now, like for the Sox, I think they had to bring up some people from AAA if they didn't already. See how they do, because they didn't do anything in the offseason to get any starting pitching help. And if you think that those same people on your staff is going to get you over to where you done lost the last 2 seasons in the playoffs, you're kidding yourself. The only thing you can hope is that your team will be healthier and can perform better offensively with that staff that you got, because they not. To me, they're like Lance Land and Giolito. They're more like number 2 guys. Neither one of them is a solid number 1. You know what I mean? So it's going to take your offense to do tremendous to get you where you want to be in the playoffs. For the Cubs, it's wait and see. You don't know yet. Like I say, they pitching look like it's been decent. The only thing that will concern you is the hitting, but some of the dudes who did hit for them last year, they haven't really hit yet. So, and it's early. So, give it another 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you should kind of start to be able to see the strengths and the weaknesses in full for each team. But I know for the Sox already, you see the weakness on the close. Even when they win and they have a big lead, that fool's giving up a run. It's just automatic. Like, come on, man. You're throwing 96 to 98 and you still giving up runs? No movement. Get him out of it, man. I don't trust that dude at all.
No movement. That's why I was horrible. Strong arm, but couldn't get the ball to move for the life of me. And even my fastball just went straight down. Just what you saw coming is what you got. All right. So they used to love that. No, just put me out there in the field. All right. So we're going to push it on, man. We're going to get over and big ups to Sovereign 100. Appreciate your support. We're going to push on. How about them Bears? And right now we're not going to unpack, who our all-time team is. I know there was some chatter. Coach Eberflus says that the Bears can win now. Was that smart? And any other type commentary? I'll start it out with you, Ace.
Well, what else is he going to say? He's the new head coach. He's going to come out there and say we're going to get our ass kicked again this year. They can win, but winning on the NFL level is basically winning a championship. And no, they can't compete for a championship this year. They'll be competitive.
This team is kind of like the Bulls. I throw it back at you, but it's like playoffs. If they get to the playoffs, I think that's a good season. And everybody was saying it was based on with the colored quarterback and doing that new offense. But go ahead, Ace, and then I'll get it to you, Diesel.
You're rebuilding your defense again, and you're rebuilding the offensive line. So you're asking a lot out of this team to make it to the playoffs. But behind your guy up there, the cheesehead up there, the vaccinator, and even behind the Minnesota Vikings. So, we'll see. I mean, they can compete for the division because the Packers lost a lot of players, because their quarterback's making $100 million a year. But it's a matter of being healthy and, what they get out of the draft, because they got a lot of holes on their team. They're filling in offensive line holes. They got some defensive holes. We got cornerback holes. We got safety holes. We got wide receiver holes. We got a lot of holes on the squad. So, it's a matter of how the team forms.
Well, I mean, your reaction was similar to my initial reaction. Like, what else can he say? But the Bears have been known to, go 5-11 one year and then surprise the NFL. And they're playing. I'm about to throw it to you now, Diesel. And they're playing with the easiest, one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. We haven't had that in a while. Somehow we've always been having those horrible draws.
Playoff schedules.
Yeah. It's just horrible playoff schedules. So, Diesel, so you got any Bears news? And then also address the question, was that smart for Eberflus to come on out there and say that, we can win this year?
Well, it's premature because you should wait till the draft is over. When is the draft? Next week, I think. Next Thursday.
2 weeks. Yeah.
It should be next Thursday, right? Yeah, or either next Thursday or the last Thursday. But yeah, after the draft and you see who they get, then you could probably make a more clear analysis if you think they're going to make the playoffs. But I mean,
playoffs.
It ain't like that should be super hard. They giving more teams an opportunity to make the playoffs now. Just like the NBA, they handing you out an opportunity. If you're halfway decent, you should be in the playoffs. So it ain't that hard. They're giving 2-3 extra teams a shot to get in. So come on, if you're gonna do it, it shouldn't be that hard. So
I got comments on that NBA fiasco they got going over there, and the tanking of the season by a certain squad. Well, not the season, the playoff position. But let's get back to the bed.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's a little premature to say what they'll do, but it ain't too far-fetched to say they could make the playoffs because it shouldn't be that hard with the amount of teams that they allow. So
Sovereign 100 says the draft for the NFL is going to take place April 28th through the 30th. So it is a couple weeks coming around the corner. So
last week of the month.
Yeah. Appreciate that info, Sovereign. Yeah, man. I predicted them to get 7 wins, and I'm gonna have to look at that schedule. I haven't perused that schedule. We do have some talent on that squad, man. There is some talent. It's just a matter of if that new offensive system, man, they got a new offensive system, new defensive system. It's a whole lot going on, but I do agree with your point, Ace, that what else is the coach supposed to say? We're going to get our ass kicked this year?
Hey, it's the good thing is Fields is so young. You know how you used to always hear, yeah, he's been in the league 4 years and he's had 4 different coordinators. Mm-hmm. Well, he's only had 1 coordinator, so this will only be his second one. So it shouldn't be that big of a change. You know what I mean?
I don't think the first one counts.
Right. So it shouldn't be that hard for him to whatever they decide to do.
And I'm pretty sure they'll be smart enough to at least have some plays that he likes to run, incorporated with their offense as well. Because like you said, they've had some seasons to watch him. He knows what he can do, what he's comfortable with, and what he's not comfortable with. Just a quick sidebar, man. On my new job, I found out that the CEO is a fudge packer. So I met him. I'm like, man, where do I turn in my resignation? Yeah.
Yeah, he probably would have turned his if Rogers would have left.
I just gotta make sure my check is get deposited after all of my commentary.
Absolutely. But the Bears are in a situation of transition. on the offense and defensive side. You know, you got new coaches. So it's a matter of, I mean, we can't have, I don't think we can have a worse coach than we had last year as far as developing the talent of our quarterback and using the run game. So, you know, if they develop the line like they're supposed to in this draft, and they have tried to in the offseason, then we should see more running, more protection of fields, and more protection should be more accurate throwing from, I believe.
All right, well, let me run through this because I just pulled up their 2022 schedule. The home dates are at home against, and I'll give you their last year's records, against the Lions, who were 3-13-1, but they were a tough 3-13-1, if that's possible. And then the Packers, the Fudge Packers, 13-4. We got the Vikings, they were 8-9 last year. We got the Eagles, who were 9-8 last year. We got Washington football team, Commandos, whatever they are, 7-10. We got the Bills coming to town, 11-6. The Dolphins coming to town. Don't they got a new quarterback or something?
No, he had a new coach.
And that speedy receiver went there, the Cheetah.
Yeah.
All right. And then you got the Texans, 4-13 coming to town. And the
Lovey's coming back.
Lovey's coming back.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even think about that. And then we got the Niners, 10-7. So y'all got any comments on those home dates? Let's look at that. Lions, that should be a W. Packers, L. Vikings, we can win that.
That's 50.
2-1. Yeah, Eagles, I'm gonna be a homer. 3-1. Washington, 4-1. Bills will lose.
Oh, I wouldn't count that Washington game so fast.
Hey, I'm gonna be a homer.
All right.
Yeah. So let me see. Lions 1-0, Packers 1-1, Vikings 2-1, Eagles 3-1, Washington 4-1, Bills 4-2, Dolphins 5-2, Texans 6-2, Niners 6-3. So let's just say they go 5-4 at home. That's doable.
Yeah, it's possible. They'd have to go what, four? How many road games? You gotta have 9 road games.
No, 17 games. So last year we had 9 road games. So this year we get 8.
8. Okay.
So the road games, we start with the Lions, and then the Packers, and then the Vikings, and then the Cowboys, who were 12-5, and then the Giants. We can get that W. Whew. We go to the Patriots, and then at the Jets, they were 4-13, and at the Falcons, who were 7-10. So we could beat the Lions 1-0. We're gonna beat the Packers one of them games. It's a rivalry. That's 2-0. Vikings, all right, they might win 2-2. Cowboys, I'm not so big on them, but 2-3. We don't have a good history. Giants
2-2. That's 4 games, right?
Lions, let's see, 1-0. Packers 1-1. Vikings, yeah, you're right, 2-2. Giants 4-13, so we can win that. That's 3-2. We'll probably lose at New England. That's 3-3. The Jets, we should be able to win that. That's 4-3. And the Falcons, we should be able to win that. That's 5-3. So let's just say 4-4 on the road, and 5-4. That's 9. That's 9 wins. You know, but, yeah, I had them at 7 though, so they should be able to at least go 8 and 9. You can get a playoff spot at 8 and 9.
Like I said, it shouldn't be that hard with the way they then added a few more playoff teams. So,
oh my gosh,
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard.
Let's go to the playoffs with a loser.
I mean, hey, you know, playoffs. You can get in there at 8 and 9, man. You know how the division goes, like Diesel said. I mean, but I mean, all right. So the schedule does seem more manageable, though. I had them at 7 and 9. I think. Wait, 7 and 9 don't add up. We had them at 7 and 10. So I think 8 and 9. I'm gonna change my prediction to 8 and 9 based on what I see.
Yeah, why do I have to go to New York twice, man? What's going on with the NFL?
If this guy does what he does, what the prototype is in Indy, where he's got them running backs that can run the ball, and they run as much as they probably pass just a little bit more.
And the defense is swarming, and the defense is hitting hard and swarming.
But the running is their priority, and the Bears do got 2 really good running backs. So, yeah, I think they could, if that's the focus, and then you utilize just picture this. Just picture this. Justin Fields playing for Indy this past season. They would have probably made the playoffs instead of Carson Wentz.
Correct.
They would have probably made the playoffs.
They got I think they picked up a fullback in the offseason.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a fullback back there. Looks like they want to get back to Bear football, man.
Bear football, yeah.
So if he does that offense similar to what was the prototype in Indy, then they could possibly win 10 games. If he makes the run game the focus and pass off of that.
Right. Use some play action, whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're looking at some tight ends. All right, Ace, you got some commentary on the Bears. We're going to move on to them Bulls, but we'll be back to the Bears at the end of the show.
If they run the ball, they keep picking up offensive linemen. So we'll see what happens on the defensive side of the ball. Like I said, we got holes at cornerback, linebacker, and D-line. But, there'll be some players out there once OTAs we get through the OTAs, training camps, guys get cut. And, they can patchwork something for this year. They picked up a lot of one-year players. So, I think they're just trying to bridge the gap when they can get a full slate of draft picks again next season. Just build it slowly and surely. This should be okay. 8-8.
All right. 8. Can't go 8-9. Yeah, they messed it all up.
They screwed it all up.
Season.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's what I say, 8-9. What you got him at, Diesel, looking at this new information we've been presented with?
If he does that offense the way I hope he does, they can win 10 games. If he doesn't, they'll win 7. So.
All right, so 10 plus 17, 10 plus 7 is 17 divided by 2. So you got them at about 8 wins too.
Right in there. But again, if that offense is running as the priority, they'll win 10 games. They should win 10 games.
Even with the color, even with the black quarterback?
Well, because that would suit what he can do. And there you go again with that bullshit right there. See? He already started. But that would suit what he could do. Basing it off of the run game, that fits him perfect. Until he shows he's not wet behind the ears, that's all I want him to do.
Well, that's what Seattle did when they had a young Russell Wilson. That's what you do as you're grooming your quarterback. You pound the ball.
Yeah. We can't forget the coach we had last year was Eddie.
Dick N-word.
Yeah, he was an absolute idiot. And to try and run those plays he was running, even in that first game against Cleveland, they should have fired him then.
You talking about the 9-step drops? Didn't the guy get a record? Didn't they get a record with number of sacks in a game with this poor kid?
5 sacks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no sacks or 1 sack in the first few games. Then they play the Bears and get 9 sacks.
Man, that was like a video game.
Yeah. Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl.
All right, we're gonna push off to the Bulls. So before I do this, I was just getting some final NBA standings in the East. The Heat finished 53-29. Celtics in Beantown finished 51-31. The Bucks finished 51-31. The Sixers 51-31. The Raptors 48-34. Our Bulls ended up with the 6th seed at 46-36. Brooklyn somehow ends up at the 7th seed, even though they played in the play-in game at 44-38. Cleveland finished 44-38 as well, and the Hawks 43-39. I need somebody to explain this new playoff system and what the hell's going on. So I'll start with Diesel.
Yeah, it's weird, ain't it? Because Cleveland loses and they still alive. So I think it's the 10-9 is the sudden death game.
Yeah.
So whoever lost in the 10-9, they're done. But if you even if you lose in the 7-8 game, you still get a shot at the winner of the who won the 10-9. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it and figure it out. But go ahead, bro. Because then I was asking Ace, like, why in the hell ain't the 6-seeded Bulls matched up with the 2-seeded Celtics? You know, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, you would think that that's how it would be, but it's weird. It ain't gonna matter who they play, man. Them fools is gone. They might win. They get lucky if they win one game. They have no type of discipline to. They don't even know who they are. Like most teams know who they are or what they do. Like I was watching Charlotte, Atlanta. Like I know Charlotte, they just want to score the basket. They don't have no defense, so they just want to try to outscore you. And they went broke in the third quarter. They lost. The Bulls don't know what they are at all, and that's the coach's fault. They had no identity of what they really are. Their defense is they've been giving up. If you look at like the past 15, 20 games, they give up about 120 a game to everybody. Man, they'd be lucky to win one game. Whoever they play the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'd be lucky to win one game. I put all my money to stand by the window on the Bucks. All of them. You can bet every
401k, everything. You pushing all your chips, all your comic book collection, everything.
Hey, just like when all of them fools in Detroit, when Thomas Hearns fought Sugar Ray Leonard the first time, man, them people was putting up their houses, everything. He gonna knock him out. He gonna kill him. Hey, but this ain't boxing.
Yeah, Sugar had that sugar though.
He sure did. Hey, but yeah, they ain't. I can't see them. Man, maybe one game. Maybe if they get lucky and it's a mystery injury that happens, you know, then maybe they might could get 2 games. But probably the injury gonna probably happen to us, like Levine or something. Like he always get hurt.
All right. I'm gonna throw it over to Ace, and then I'm gonna look up as Ace is making his commentary. I'm gonna look up this, see if I can make some sense out of this new playoff format. It's not even new anymore, but you know.
Yeah, and I don't know if the Bucks rested their players that final game of the season, but I got to think that they did. They were hedging their bet to fall to the third position to play the Bulls, who hasn't beat them ever. You know, since the rise of Giannis. So, you know, it would behoove them to fall to the third position and end up playing the Bulls as opposed to drawing the Milwaukee Bucks. The Brooklyn Nets in the first round. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a tough draw for the Boston Celtics. You know, you're looking at a team with, you know, barely any playoff wins versus a team that has a couple players that won chips. So, you know, I think it was a strategy on the Bucks' part to rest their players and, you know, fall to that third position and play the Bulls in the first round.
I would have loved to play the Celtics because that's the one team out of those ones above us that I think we had somewhat of a chance because we kind of match up with them good. And they don't have a big man either.
Yeah, they are bigs and, you know, yeah, as far as athletic-wise, they're probably
Williams is out. So,
they're structured closer to the Bulls than probably any other team. So it's just a matter of who shows up that night in what city. But yeah, you know, the Bucks had a different plan. They're gonna unleash Giannis against you know, the Bulls and see if they can handle them. Pat Williams had a good game though in that last game. You know, against the bums of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they were playing up in Minnesota. He had a career high of 35 points. And Ayo had 26 points.
If he's smart, man, I'd play them more than most of them veterans because you need them young dudes. At least they'll try to play some defense. More than them older veterans, they ain't going to play no D, man. You got no chance unless you hitting all of your shots. It's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, that was my question of the Bulls early in the season that they would normally average giving up 120 points every game. It's just a matter if they scored 121 or the other team scored 122 as far as who's going to win the game. early on in the season, they still had Ball and they still had Caruso running through the rotation. Now that those rotations are gone, they can't stop anybody.
Well, go ahead.
The other teams just got to be cold for a quarter for the Bulls to really shut them down.
All right, this is giving me a headache, but I'm gonna run through it anyway. Well, we did shut DeRozan down for the last game, so hopefully that gives him some pep to his step. But here's what I got going on here. This is how it goes. The play-in tournament will begin. It already began. The teams with the 7th highest and 8th highest winning percentages in each conference, so the 7th and 8th seed, will each have 2 opportunities to win 1 game to earn a playoff spot. The teams in the 9th and the 10th seed, 10th highest winning percentages in each conference, will have to win 2 consecutive games to earn a playoff spot. At the conclusion of the regular season, but before the first round of the playoffs, the team with the 7th highest winning percentage in each conference will host the team with the 8th highest winning percentage in a play-in game, 7-8 game. The winner of the 7-8 game in each conference will then earn the number 7 seed. The team with the 9th highest winning percentage in each conference will host the team with the 10th highest winning percentage in the 9-10 game. The loser of the 7-8 game will then host the winner of the 9-10 game in a play-in game, and the winner of that game will earn the number 8 seed. So that makes sense, but that still does not explain why the Bulls aren't playing so 8 would play 1, 7 would play 2. Okay, my bad. 6 would play 3. All right, I got it. Okay.
So I believe the Bucks and the Celtics ended up with the same record. It must have been some kind of tiebreaker scenario that pushed the Bucks down to the 3rd seed.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it was. It's 6 against 3. Okay. Yeah. All right. It makes sense. It makes sense now. All right. So let's go. Diesel gave his Bulls prediction. So are you saying sweep, or you standing by, like, if you had to put all your chips in the middle, Diesel, are you saying 5 games?
I ain't giving them nothing. They're going to have to show me. Sweep them. Get them out of here.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee.
Now, I don't want them to get swept, but I don't trust them.
Milwaukee is the returning champs. They should be looking to take care of business and close it out as quick as possible so that they don't have to worry about injuries and get rest. Ace, what's your prediction on this series now that we know? Because I was making my bets. I thought we were playing Boston. So
based on Boston.
Yeah, now that we know it's the returning champs.
I mean, I'll stick with my pre-playoff prediction of
playoffs
4-1. Whether it was going to be the Celtics or the Bucks. The Bulls may be able to pull one out. One gritty playoff win out of this whole situation. But other than that, other games are going to be pretty disappointing for Bulls fans.
Sure, you play to win the game.
All right. Well, I've been a homer on the show, but I was saying that we could take Boston to 6, but I don't feel like, in my heart of hearts that make me a liar, Bulls. But I feel like, especially since Ball didn't return, and so I'm gonna go with Milwaukee, but we'll get a game. We'll win that first game back in Chicago. That's gonna be our best chance to get her done, in my opinion. So I say Milwaukee in 5, as much as it hurts me to say, because I don't like any Wisconsin team.
Yeah.
Just because of the Packers. Yeah. Fudge Packers. All right, but so now, Ace, I'm gonna throw it to you then. Who's coming out? Who's coming out of the East? And who's coming out of the West? And then I'm gonna throw it to Diesel.
Oh wow, who's coming out of the East? That's gonna be a hodgepodge of garbage. You got the top 3 seeds are the Heat, the Bucks, and you're looking at
so you got the Heat, Celtics, Bucks, and 76ers are the top 4 seeds.
Yeah. So, the 76ers always falter during the playoffs, and they have Harden, so you can eliminate them. The Bucks are the defending champs, and you got the Celtics and
Don't forget about Brooklyn.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get hot enough to compete for the East. Maybe if they had Simmons, to help with the defense, but other than that, I'm gonna have to go with the defending champs. As long as they stay healthy, there's no one in the East that can stop Giannis. Sometimes they have bad shooting nights by the other guys, the Giannis heirs that are out there. But I'm gonna have to go with the Bucks coming out of the East and out of the West.
Now in the West, the top 4 seeds are the Suns at 64-18, Grizzlies 56-26, the Warriors at 53-29, and the Mavs at 52-30.
So, you eliminate the Mavs, and the Grizz don't have any playoff experience. So you're looking at the experience of the Warriors versus the well-coached and well-playing team of the Phoenix Suns. That's a tough one. But Steph is still hurt, right? So yeah, you gotta go with the Suns.
Well, Steph did full contact practice. He's scrimmaging with the team right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna come right out there in the first game of the series and ram right in his back. So give my team a chance to win. But it's the playoffs. But yeah, I'll say the Suns and the Bucks again.
Suns and the Bucks, and then who's gonna win? Who's gonna win that?
I give it to the Suns this year.
Oh man, bold predictions. Diesel, take me through the same scenario.
Man, see, that's tough because the East, I'm gonna say either the Bucks or the
No either. You can tell me.
I can say what I want to say.
No
Bucks,
either.
I got the Bucks. All right, the Bucks and the Heat. Now the Bucks and the Heat on the East. And on the West.
And who's going to win that game? What the question is who's coming out of the East?
I don't know. I got the Bucks and the Heat. And in the West, I got Phoenix. Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix in the West. And I want to say Dallas got a good shot too. But Phoenix in the West.
All right. So you got Phoenix coming out of the West, and you got the Bucks and the Heat coming out of the East.
Yeah. Golden State ain't going nowhere, whether Steph playing or not.
We don't want to hear any more of your commentary. You can't commit to a team.
I committed to Phoenix, and I'm telling you, Golden State ain't doing nothing.
Well, we don't care much. All right.
You don't care.
So I'm gonna follow Ace on this. I was listening to.
Of course, you're gonna follow your butt, buddy. Of course. You ain't met. Guys could have said it at the same time.
No, he's got the balls to commit and not be wishy-washy on every single topic.
Tomas and Zaymont, the twins, my brother's in trouble. How do you know?
He's okay. We're gonna mute you here. There you go. All right. So now we've got. I'm gonna go with the Bucks, and then I'm also gonna go with. Yeah, I think Phoenix will get it done, man. They lost in 7 games last year, and they've gotten a lot more playoff experience. So I'm going to go out on a limb as opposed to picking 3 teams. I'm going to pick 2 teams. So I'm going to go with Phoenix and the Bucks. But Ace, I think the Bucks are going to repeat this year, and Giannis is going to bring it home.
Oh, wow. Okay. Long season. We'll see who has the stamina once you get all the way to the finals. I'm going with Phoenix this year. Lost your audio, there, young fella.
Wow, should be straight.
All right. Yeah, you good, bro. So everybody's, we can revisit this. I'll watch the tape, once the Eastern Finals is over and the Western Finals is over, and we'll see who came the closest. All right, so let's move on. We went over the Bulls ad nauseum. Let's go ahead and jump to the Masters final. We had some predictions about Tiger Woods. I figure it would be irresponsible not to revisit Augusta. I'll get you guys the stats on that. But any comments? I'll start with just you, Diesel, on the Masters, how it ended up.
Yeah, I think old boy went wire to wire, basically. Scotty Scheffler. Hey, Tiger made the cut, man. You gotta give him some credit for that, man. It's dudes who didn't
Yeah, I predicted he would make the cut, and you were wishy-washy on that too. But go ahead.
No, I told you if the weather was right, he'll make it.
Wishy-washy. If it's always conditional. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
of course it is.
Go ahead.
Of course it is. Well, why don't you go since you went over top?
No, we're just here to state facts. You know, and, we made predictions.
I said he made
again.
I said he made the cut, didn't he? Right.
Yes, and I want to remind all of our viewers that you were wishy-washy on it. So apparently the weather was right. So apparently the weather was right for Tiger.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
I'm asking you. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. I don't watch.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. So stand down. You shouldn't have nothing to say. No opinions.
So was the weather? You said Tiger would only make the cut if the weather was a certain way. Were you right? Was the weather that way? And is that the reason why Tiger made the cut? That's what I'm asking you. It's a valid question.
Now, I already told you that. You already know that.
No, you said,
I said he made the cut. I told you he wouldn't have made it if the weather was bad. So what does that tell you? Thank you. Now, and the other dude, Harold Varner, he was right in contention, and he fell off on the third day, I think it was. He went backwards. He almost caught Tiger as far as whatever Tiger shot. He went backwards too.
We're going to give this some context. So, like you said, the American Scheffler won. He finished 10 under. Rory McIlroy finished 7 under. S. Lowry finished 5 under. C. Smith finished 5 under. C. Morikawa finished 4 under. He's an American.
Morikawa.
Yeah.
Japanese American.
Yeah. Well,
you don't like that. You don't like that, do you?
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, of course you don't. You and your buddy, y'all don't like the. If it ain't black, y'all don't like it.
It's black first around here, but he's melanated.
You know his name? Why do you know his name?
We're unabashedly black first around here, but he's got melanin. You mentioned the Japanese. Somebody mentioned the Japanese Cub. We don't have a problem with him. All right, then the American Zalatoris was tied for 6 at 3 under. The Canadian C. Connors was tied for 6, 3 under. So let's get to the notables, which the only one I care about at this point is Tiger Woods.
Tiger who?
He's way at the bottom here.
Well, yeah.
All right. Ace, any commentary on this before we move on?
I predicted he would make the cut. But,
yeah, you did.
I figured what would happen was, which happens to most older players, especially older injured players, they wear down. And, with the injuries that he had to his ankle and foot, he wore down and he couldn't keep walking the course. So, of course, his shots fell off and his score went higher and higher as the days went on. And in the end, I think he was tied for 41st or 41st place or something like that. So,
did his plug not show up on the golf cart?
Tiger will be okay. It's just a warm-up tournament for him to
Masters is not a warm-up tournament.
For Tiger, it is.
Stand down. No,
for Tiger, it is.
No.
They changed the rules on every course in America for Tiger Woods. So if he got hurt and he wanted to come back to the Masters, it's a warm-up tournament for him to get ready for next year. No. Yes, it is.
No, he's playing in a tune-up before another tournament. So
it was his first tournament back, though. So I think he's saying that.
But it ain't a warm-up. He plays the Masters to try to win, regardless. It's not a warm-up. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
He did not expect to win this tournament. He did to win. Okay.
if the weather was right,
if the weather was great and he didn't turn himself over in a damn car over a cliff.
Yeah,
he would expect he wouldn't expect him to win.
Full disclosure, I've only played about 9 holes of golf in my life, so it's not something that I'm prepared to really.
I'm sure he's got both of you guys' support as much as you guys watch him in all his tournaments.
I watch all of his tournaments.
Right. I'm sure you watched the whole Masters this week when they just played. I'm sure. Right.
So you watched all 4 rounds. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened?
Didn't go to work.
Did he wear down?
So you took off work?
No, he didn't wear down. He just wasn't hitting good shots.
I'm not buying it. Nobody watches all 4 rounds of the Masters. Not even the people who play in it. They're in the clubhouse.
What do you mean nobody watches?
When Tiger went down 10 shots, or especially day 4 when he had no chance of winning, you were still watching?
Yeah, because he was playing early before the other dudes play late in the afternoon. I don't watch them that much.
All right. Sovereign 100 said Boston Celtics will shock the world. So I guess he's predicting
Larry Bird's coming back.
Yeah, Larry Legend's gonna come back with his back. He said Diesel laugh out loud. He's laughing at something. I don't know what it was.
Because you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking to you two numbnuts and y'all ain't watched near round of the Masters or nothing.
I watched the first 2 rounds.
Right.
And Tiger, he couldn't hit his butt.
Some of us got jobs. All right. And then Sovereign 100 said Tornado missed the course. And then he said number 47, Woods plus 13. And your whole weather prediction, again, the doctor said if it's warm, it was going to be good for his back. But if it's cold, it was going to be good for that ankle and that leg problem he was dealing with. That's the conundrum on the whole weather scenario. Fact is, he hadn't played all those rounds of golf in some time. And I think Ace was right in his prediction that he was going to wear down towards the end of it. I even predicted that he was going to drop out and quit. So I was wrong about that. But I was right that he was going to make the cut. Tiger's been known to walk off and catch up with the plug.
Yeah.
I will argue with you.
Step into town
I ain't watching it.
Trailer park. Find my assistant for the evening.
Get him some pink stink. All right. Let's move on. All right. Now, there was a coach, can't think of his name, I'd have to look it up. Former Dolphins coach. He was pink. And he said that there was an unnamed Dolphin player who reeked of alcohol every day in practice. Oh, the coach was former assistant coach Dan Campbell. But he said that this player showed up, was never late, played every down in practice like it was his last. Y'all got any commentary on that? I'll start with Ace, then I'll throw it with Diesel.
I think, isn't Dan Campbell the Lions coach now? Hey, there's all kind of vices going on in the NFL between the marijuana and alcohol or opioids, whatever it takes to get you out there on the field. If he can pass the drug test and perform at the level that the team needs him to perform, it's not much difference than when LT was playing back in the day. Just get out there and get them, kids.
Man, we had a player named Stormin' Norman Jackson, and he led the state in rushing yards back in the day at my high school. And I was a sophomore. I was the flag holder and on the side of the field. Hey, they paid. I think it was $15 an hour or something like that. They paid. I made like $30 a game doing that, man. After the games, I was on the hoop squad. Don't get me wrong. But he would, down a 6-pack before every game and then down another 3, allegedly, at halftime. So he averaged I think he got like 2,200 yards that year, if not more. But Diesel, any comments on players playing drunk in the NFL?
It must have been malt liquor he was drinking.
No, if you got a bunch of, if they play go about their business like Dennis Rodman did, you're getting blasted or whatever, but if it don't affect your play or whatever you got to do, your practice and your preparation, I ain't got no problem with it. That's for his coaches whoever with him to decide, because they got to see him every day as far as is his preparation and everything okay? Is it distracting the others on the team? As long as it's not, they can perform. Hey, to each his own. You get caught by the league, though, don't come looking for our help.
Well, you made me think, and we're taking it in another direction. So we don't care about his mental health or his personal well-being. This guy, nobody cares. I guess in high school you should care, but in the pros,
not in the NFL. I mean, when you're grown now, when you're in the NFL. So if you want to talk about their mental well-being, they're getting hit in the head every down. So I mean, then don't play.
And they're getting thrown pain pills like it's Tic Tacs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jordan ran all those guys out of the Bulls locker room. They were taking in the booger sugar, prior to and
he demanded a trade.
Yeah.
He said, that's what happened to Orlando Woolridge and all those players I used to like.
Quentin Daly.
Quentin Daly. It was another one, the little guard.
Sidney Green.
Yeah.
Who else did they have? It was another. What's that guard's name?
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
He's cold.
I know what you're talking about.
And then they didn't do nothing after they left the Bulls.
Orlando Woolridge went to the Lakers.
Yeah, he was still putting up points, but I think they was following him around South Central. We got to get rid of this guy. And big ups to Orlando Woolridge. I hope everybody's got that together. You know what I mean? It was the cocaine 80s. Yeah.
Sorry, he wasn't on the top 5 of Bulls team.
All right, we got to move on because it's going to be a while on that final topic. So, Diesel, you mentioned and coaching, and so the Lakers fired Vogel. All right, you guys got any interest in Vogel, and then also any comments on that firing? I'll start it out with Diesel, then I'll throw it to Ace.
I mean, his firing ain't the root of their problems. The root of their problems was they let LeBron control who they brought to the team, and your front office. The problem would be the person who's running the front office, which is Pelinka. And then I think he's getting advice from like Kurt Rambis and his wife. Like, okay. And then you got
Jeannie Buss is running the team with Kurt Rambis and Mrs. Rambis. Yeah.
Yeah. And
she's getting the Rambis already.
And LeBron bringing in, he's the one who picked the people that they brought in. So to me, he didn't really deserve to be fired because I don't put all of the onus on him. You guys gave him that stuff to deal with, and between Anthony Davis and LeBron, both of them together probably missed a total of a whole season, right? This past season, if you count all the games they both missed.
Yeah.
It would equal about a whole season.
So,
if I was the Lakers, I'd trade Anthony Davis, bro.
So you're saying I bring you a bunch of shit ingredients, stale and spoiled and molded ingredients, and then complain to the chef about how the meal tastes.
As broke as Westbrook is,
he plays.
He still plays, and he goes hard. And by the end of the season, he was one of their more consistent players. He just can't shoot like he used to.
So would you fire the Bulls coach and hire Vogel? Because Vogel's a proven guy. Are you high on Vogel enough?
No, I'll fire the Bulls coach, but I ain't getting Vogel. No.
All right. Ace, I'll throw it to you.
I mean, it's a lot of blame to go around, especially to the players. Word out of LA is that Westbrook didn't want to run the offense that Vogel wanted to run. Vogel wanted whoever got the ball to bring it down, and Westbrook was like, "I'm the point guard. I'm running the offense." So those are the rumors out of LA. I don't.
He didn't want him to push the ball. He wanted to push it himself that's how he plays. He gets a rebound or something, or somebody else give it to him. He's up the court.
Well, I knew that wasn't going to work when they got him because he's ball dominant, and so is LeBron. But go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, he wants the ball. That's what I'm saying. I mean, so if he's ball dominant, you got LeBron, who definitely has to have the ball, and then you got to throw it into the unibrow whenever he's out there. how many basketballs do you have? I said that at the beginning of the season. Their chemistry was going to be bad. And then you got Carmelo coming off the bench who needs the ball. It's only one basketball. So it wasn't going to work. I don't give a lot of credence to Vogel's championship because it was in the bubble. You had, the greatest player in the NBA at the time who got, 2 months rest, 3 months rest going into not having to travel and playing in Disney World. So, I don't give a lot of credence to that championship they won in the bubble.
No, but he was good in other places. He's known for taking lessers and getting them to the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm talking about championship. Yeah, he won one in the bubble. LeBron and a healthy Anthony Davis after 2 month rest.
So he won in the bubble.
Yeah. So and they haven't competed really since then, since they came out of the bubble.
You got any interest in him coaching the Bulls?
No. I mean, you got to give other guys a chance. I mean, he's running the same offense that the Lakers was trying to run in the 80s, but he just didn't have the players.
Well, if they can do that, man, we need to bring the triangle back. Siren 100 said Babe Ruth played his entire career drunk. Yeah, that's the Babe, though. He was pitching.
Yeah, he's black.
Yeah, the Babe was black. check the genealogy. All right. So enough about Vogel and the Lakers because I always enjoy. I'm out here in the LA area and I enjoy watching them lose. Anytime I can because they got a bunch of smug fans. So. All right. So now, before we jump to the final hot topic, I want to comment on Kenny Anderson. I don't know if anybody saw a video Kenny got interviewed. So he's coaching at Fisk now. And I never heard that he had been sexually assaulted twice as a kid, once by a neighbor and then once by a youth coach. Yeah. So any comments on that? Anyone? I'll start with Ace.
No, I hadn't heard the story, so sorry to hear. I mean, you try and trust coaching to people that have the benefit of the kids at heart, and unfortunately, back in Kenny Anderson's days, there were no background checks or there was no any safeguards for kids as far as coaches are concerned. And now we're hearing a lot of stories about kids being touched by former coaches or their priests. So
and he was saying that that's why I never knew he had like off the court problems, but he was saying that he thinks that's why he has like 8 kids by 4 baby mamas and all of that. So, but go ahead, Ace, wrap up what you were saying. And I'm gonna toss it to Diesel.
He's got 8 kids by 4 baby mamas because the coach touched his bum.
Yeah, the coach and the neighbor. It was 2 different people.
Oh wow. Well, hopefully he's getting some therapy or some help now to help him recover from what's going to happen in his previous life. And hopefully he'll be a good coach and counselor for those kids that he's bringing up at Fisk University now.
Well, knowing that victims of molestation tend to molest, would you be comfortable sending your kid to Fisk? And Ace, answer that, and then I'm gonna throw it to Diesel on this time.
Well, I would say they're older young men. As far as hopefully, they have.
That didn't stop that doctor in Michigan. But
well, that was going to be the end of my comment as far as the Penn State guy and the guy at the University of Michigan giving the prostate exam. So, hopefully with the revelation of this information that if anything's happened, these kids will forward that to the proper.
Well, Sambuski, the Penn State guy, he was still molesting like high school kids and lower. He wasn't messing with the players. But that Michigan coach was something else. Yeah,
he wanted to get a prostate exam to anybody that would come in his room. So unfortunately.
You got a headache? Let me stick my fingers up your prostate.
Yeah, make sure your prostate's okay. Yeah.
Let me make my serious thing, and I'm gonna throw it to you, Diesel. Sexual assault is a serious thing, so we're not, anybody's going through that, get counseling, reach out. call 12 for God's sakes, do something, tell somebody. Kenny said he didn't tell anyone until after his mom passed. He didn't feel comfortable. He felt like that would destroy her. But go ahead, Diesel. It's on you, bro, on this topic. Kenny Anderson, he was
if that molesting stuff is, whew. And I guess the kids, when they're younger, who knows, maybe they get scared if they tell somebody that they're going to get in trouble by the reaction of, whoever their parent or guardian is. It's horrible because, as a person from the outside looking in, you never know what the molestation, what the act actually was. But and in a way you don't want to know, but in another way you want to know. So for example, like the people at Penn State and Michigan, because of those suits, we got to hear like the stuff that they were doing. So it gives the person on the outside more depth of what was going on. But sometimes it could be, they just grabbed at their genitals or something to that effect. You know what I mean? You're not sure exactly what the full act was. You know what I mean? And
doesn't matter.
But exactly, because but my point
grabbing
is,
genitals qualifies. But go ahead, bro.
But doesn't it, right? Wouldn't that qualify as molestation on the
part of that person? Does, but whether you consider a small act or a large act, it's
no. My point is that maybe that's what who knows what's going through a kid's mind where they don't want to go and tell, like, hey, this person was doing this to me,
right?
And it's so disgusting. You may not want to know what the full act. You see what I'm saying? It's like just disgusting, man. I wish he would have said something.
Well, when it's with children, they really don't have any. The younger they are, they really don't have a concept of their sexuality.
What's going on? What they do.
So they might not think that it touches everybody's genitalia. Start slapping them on the bum or whatever. However it starts for this particular person.
And the adult can threaten to kill your whole family, and you don't have any context. Because now let me say that Kenny said that his family was all not all hustlers, but they had a lot of doughboys in the family, and they were adamant that he just stuck to his studies and played ball. So if he would have said something, somebody would have definitely been whacked because he was living in the projects. He also said, and this should be a red flag for any school or educator, man, he said he would stay at his high school. So in this video, he went back to his high school and started tearing up. He said he would stay in the high school. And I thought he was going to say how he was playing ball. He was staying at school doing his studies and wouldn't leave till 9:30 at night and just went home and went to sleep. So that should have been a red flag that something was going on around the crib.
He was in high school when this happened? Or...
That's a good question. That's a good question. He probably wasn't. But remember, it was a neighbor. So he probably, maybe when he's a freshman, it was still, tapering off or something. But he never explained why he didn't go home. He just said because of the crime and everything, he felt safer at the school, at the institution. But any kid, they're just sitting around and not going home. You got to start asking questions.
Hey, I know D.L. Hughley said he was molested, and it was by a woman.
Yeah, that happens also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that DL was upset by that.
He actually, he's like, she molested him for...
DL stands for Down Low Hughley. I've always said that. All right. But does that count? Being molested by a woman and you're a guy?
Absolutely it does.
It does. You're still a kid, right? You're still underage, whatever that guideline is for, right?
What age was he?
I can't remember. I don't think he was a little kid. I think he was somewhere 15. Between 12 and 16, somewhere in there.
I mean, come on,
16,
I ain't sure.
That's kind of tough.
He said the chick, he said it was a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've been Yeah.
I mean, like in her 30s or something.
No comment.
Molest me. All right, but here we go. We're gonna move on before this YouTube channel gets flagged.
Get banned.
Yeah, we're gonna go on to the topic of the night as we wrap up, and that's the Chicago Bears all-time offensive team, and we're going all the way back to the early days of the foundation, all the way up till today. Also, we're including special teams, and that's just the kicker, the punter, the punt returner, and the kickoff returner. And then we got 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 guards, 2 tackles, a center, a fullback, halfback, and of course, the quarterback. So I'll give you guys my team, and then and then you guys go with your team, and then what we're going to do is discuss it from there. Actually, let's just go by position. That'll be good. So we'll each do a position. At center, I got Jay Hildenberg. He was an undrafted free agent, 7-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. Diesel, who you got at the center position?
Bulldog Turner played back in the in the early championships that the Bears was winning in the 40s.
Yeah,
and he was a beast. From what I read on him, he
was on my list. Yeah, he made my finals. Yeah, he made my finals. Only reason I didn't pick him is because I hadn't seen him. I'm not saying you're wrong, and just he was definitely on my list, and Olin Kreutz was on my list too. Ace, who you got at the center position?
Center position, my man, Olin Kreutz.
You got Olin, huh?
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of great Bears greats back in the day, but
he'll probably
in the
get
30s
in.
and 40s and 50s. I got to take them with a grain of salt because they never played against any melanated players.
See, Olin Kreutz will probably make the Hall of Fame eventually.
He'll make it.
Bulldog Turner is in the Hall. Jay Hildenberg is not. Nope.
Well, then that's messed up because he's a 7-time All-Pro and a 7-time Pro Bowler.
I don't believe he's a Hall of Famer.
All right. Let's move on. We're gonna go to now. There's 2 guard positions. I got Tom Thayer. You guys probably never heard of Tom Thayer, but
I got Tom Thayer.
You got Tom Thayer as a guard. All right, give me one of your guards, Diesel.
For the guards, I got George Musso, I think is his name. Oh, I'm sorry, no, Stan Jones.
Yeah, I got Stan Jones too.
Over Tom Thayer.
Well, I got them reversed. So my 2 guards are Tom Thayer and Stan Jones. Who's your 2 guards, Diesel?
Stan Jones and Danny Fortman.
I saw him too. Yeah, I saw him too. Who's your second guard, Ace?
Yeah, Mark Bortz.
I remember Mark Bortz. Yeah, I remember Mark Bortz. He was a dog. All right. We're gonna get to the tackle position. I'll start with you, Ace. Name one of your tackles.
We got Jimbo Colbert and Big Cat.
Big Cat Williams?
Yeah.
You went with a lot of modern players. All right. So that's both your tackles. Okay. Yeah. Who are both your tackles, Diesel?
Jimbo Colbert and George Musso.
I feel bad that I didn't put Jimbo Colbert on my list.
Hall of Fame, baby.
I got Joe Stidhar. He played from 1936 to 1946. He's a 4-time All-Star and a 6-time All-Pro. And then I got Danny Fortman. I think you mentioned him. He was a guard and a tackle. He was a 9th-round pick, 1930s All-Decade Team, Hall of Fame class of 1965.
They didn't play against any black guys.
Well, it wasn't his fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna go to the tight end position. I'm interested if anybody don't know what's in his heart. I'll start with Diesel. Who's your tight end?
The butthead coach who seems like he's half
the racist.
borderline racist.
Yeah, we don't know. You don't know what's in his heart. You don't know
he's
what's
a racist.
Yeah.
All right, Ace, who you got at the tight end?
Best hands the Bears ever had a tight end. Desmond Clark.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Diesel, I hate to admit that I agree with you. It was hard for me to pick this guy because I don't know what's in Dicka's. And we're going to choose a coach, but not today. We're going to choose a coach, but not a head coach. But you guys better pick Papa Bear Hallis. But we're going to table that for next week. But I got Dicka at the tight end. I got Mike Ditka at the tight end.
Mike, Hall of Famer, baby. Hall of
This
Famer.
this was a fun one. He wasn't playing against many colors either.
Yeah.
But this was a fun one. Wide receiver. Diesel, give me one of yours.
One of mine, Johnny Morris, baby. Johnny Morris.
Ace, do you have Johnny Morris as one of yours?
Unfortunately, yes.
He doesn't have no. Isn't he white?
Yeah, I mean Johnny Morris was a good guy, but it was slim pickings at wide receiver for the Bears.
All right, well, hold it. All right, so Ace, give me your So once you name your second wide receiver, who's wide receiver one? So who's your second wide receiver, Ace?
Shit. I still got the whole list down. So I'm going to say wide receiver one. Unfortunately, had a bad last season. For the history of the Bears, I'm going with Allen Robinson.
Oh my God.
A-Rob. I know.
Oh my God.
All right, so you got Johnny Morris. You guys are in agreement with Johnny Morris. Who's your second wide receiver, Diesel?
Ken Kavanaugh.
Yeah, he's white.
Ken Kavanaugh.
So you got two white boys at the wideouts. Who's your wide WR1? Who's number one in that situation?
I'll put you mean who's the number one?
Yeah, who's your go-to wide receiver out of those two?
That would be Johnny Morris. Yep.
Yeah, Johnny Morris, he played good football. I ain't gonna take that away from him. Big up to Johnny Morris. My wide receivers are Marty Booker and Brandon Marshall. And I'm going with Marty Booker as wide receiver one.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I don't know what problem y'all got with those two guys.
Great hands.
Man,
B. Marshall probably didn't play long enough with the Bears, but he was a great receiver. They just didn't want to win.
Man, they was both breaking Bears receiving records. It was a different time though, but yeah. All right. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna save fullback, running back, and quarterback for the end. Let's go ahead with the all-time.
FYI, Johnny Morris, career leader in receptions and receiving yards for the Bears.
Yeah.
When he retired.
Yeah. I'm just, LeBron's gonna be the career leader in everything after playing a million years. But I mean, I'm not taking that away from him. I was just saying as far as flash, as man, over 100 receptions in one season, over 1,200 yards.
But you got to remember, they didn't play that many games back then. They wasn't even playing 16 games. They played like 12, 13 games.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Morris would be my wide receiver 3. I just got a problem having the pink stink playing a wide receiver.
I know Ken Kavanaugh led the league like twice in receptions. And I think he was like a 3-time
black guys playing in.
Maybe in touchdowns or something, man. They had some dogs in them early years. They had some dogs.
The Bears had some great players, man. And this new regime is doing a good job of asking these guys to come back and make them, part of the family. The GM, he's doing that in spite of Mama McCaskey. Yeah. All right. So we're going to start out with the punter. I'll start with you, Ace. Who's your all-time punter for the Bears?
Did I pick a punter? I don't think I picked a punter.
We'll give you time. Diesel, who'd you pick at punter?
I take Marty Buford.
Maury.
Maury.
Maury, yeah, Maury,
I never
yeah.
knew it was Buford. I think he was with the 85 there.
Yeah. All right.
They're punting.
I have no problem with that. I'll pick Todd Sauerbum. Y'all remember
Yeah,
him?
he never lived up his potential.
Yeah,
if you ask me, he sucked. He never kicked big punts for us.
He had some good seasons with the Bears. Todd
No,
Sauerbum.
he didn't. He was all hype. It was all based on him being a swole up looking dude, but he didn't. When he came to kick the ball,
yeah, he kicked that 40-yard coffee corner kick 60 yards right out of the back of the end zone.
Every time.
It was the steroids. It's a different era.
Yeah, I think he was juiced up.
I'll go with that.
All right. So you guys are in agreement on Maury Buford. Sauerbum, his career punt average was 45 yards. So
he was on the road.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to kicker. Diesel, who'd you pick at kicker? Place kicker.
I actually took this might shock y'all though. I took Robbie Gold.
He was on my list. I took him over Butthead. Yeah. That's what I got, Kevin Butthead. Who you got, Ace?
I got Robbie Gold. Good as gold.
Y'all pick Gold over Butthead?
Yeah.
He's done more consistently in like the playoffs and stuff, more so than Butthead did to me. Even though he did have that time when he fell off with the Bears because of personal issues and he started missing kicks.
I'm sticking with Butthead, but all right, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go to punt returner. Now this could be a person that did kick return and punt return, but right now we're just focusing on who would you have returning punts if you were God and you had this all-time team. I'll start with me. I got Gale Sayers back there. Ace, who you got?
I'm going with number 23.
Hester?
Yes.
Diesel?
For punts, Gale.
Punt return, yeah.
I got the Comet. Kansas Comet all day.
Who the hell is that?
See, that tells you don't know nothing.
Yeah, serious.
You see that response?
All right. Yeah, I got Gale Sayers. And the reason I got him, well, I'll explain it as we get through this list. Kick return. Who you got at kick return, Diesel?
Same thing. The Comet, and I know we can only pick one, but it do be two people back there for the returners. So
yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So, but I would have the Comet and
so your Comet is kick return 1, and Devin Hester is kick return 2.
Yeah, and if I could slide in there, the variable would be Dennis Gentry for 3, but the Comet.
Rentry. Oh man, I forgot about Rentry, boy. Rentry used to make plays, but he's a good third down back. Rentry.
He was a football player.
Wasn't he? I'm gonna go with I went with Devin Hester, so he'd be the one that you're kicking to. And if you're kicking away from him, guess who you're kicking to? Gale Sayers.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still number 23, Devin Hester.
If I'm the other team, I'm gonna be like, they can just have the ball at the 40.
I'm gonna be like, kick it out of bounds. Kick it out of bounds.
Yeah.
So get the defense out there.
So, Ace, we're in agreement. Hester's kick return 1, but who's your kick return 2 since we added that?
Kick return 2. Yeah, it's got to be Gale Sayers.
Yeah, I just couldn't have a football team without Gale Sayers on it, man. I just couldn't do it, All right, so now we're going to jump up to fullback. And I got – this might hurt. Well, I'll start with you guys. Ace, it's on you, and then we throw it to Diesel.
I love the way my guy played. The numbers were close, but I got Bronco Nagurski at 1 and Matsui close 2.
Diesel.
I got Nagurski. He's a Hall of Famer, baby.
Look at that. We finally all of us agreed on somebody. He's got a cool name, too. I went with Bronco Nagurski too. It hurt my heart though. I wanted Suey in there, and Peyton's probably rolling over in his grave.
Yeah.
When you consider, who I got at halfback. So since I gave that away, my halfback is Walking Paper. Diesel, who's your halfback?
Sweetness.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna say the Comet. Yeah, the Kansas Comet. All right, Ace, who you got at halfback?
Definitely Walter Payton.
We're in agreement again. All right, this one, I'm gonna start with Ace. This is considered the most important position on the field, which I've never agreed with. There's 11 guys out there. They all have to do their job. However, could be some truth to it. Who do you have at, I'll give you QB1, and then we'll give you QB2. Who's your starting quarterback for the Bears?
Through the history, you got to go with Sid Luckman. And then my QB2 is Brent Evans.
Oh, you got some color out there. So you didn't go with that guy we brought in from Denver?
Yeah, and kiss my ass.
He broke all Luckman's records.
Yeah.
All right. What was his name?
Cutler.
Yeah.
He was a bum. Couldn't read the defense if he had a book in front of him.
Well, he had diabetes too, so it was affecting
he was
his
a bum.
eyesight. All right.
Strong arm bum from Christmas, Indiana.
Diesel, who's your QB1 and who's your QB2?
Luckman. Man, Luckman, if the Super Bowl would have started earlier,
he was ahead of his time. He changed the game.
I know. He was a 4-time champ, man.
Yeah,
4 times,
he changed the game. And he can run that ball too.
Yeah. That's why they always refer to him. And we always like, man, what does Sid Luckman do?
Right.
They always like the Bears haven't had a quarterback since Sid Luckman.
Right.
Hey, that's how 50 years from now when they watching the Bulls games, what's this Michael Jordan? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because his name gonna keep coming up.
Yeah.
And for number 2, I would have had Jimmy Mack.
Well, we're in agreement, Diesel. Well, go ahead. Explain why you got Mack on there.
Because, we base it on whatever their highest, peak was, and his highest peak without getting hurt, he could have truly ascended, thanks to the Fudge Packers and Tim Harris, they DDT'ing
picking him up and body slamming him.
Yeah, that ended all of that. But I put for the Bears, Jimmy Mack 2.
Yeah, we're in agreement on that, man. I had Sid the Grid Luckman as my 1, and Jimmy Mack, Jimbo McMahon, because he was fiery, he was a winner, he was a bear.
Yeah, he was a bear. He was a perfect leader for.
Vince Evans was ahead of his time. His speed and offensive skills was just ahead of what the racist coaches were doing here at the time. And if he would have had, some kind of modern...
And a racist fan base. Remember, they were against racist media. He had a strong arm too, man. I think he had the strongest arm.
He was super fast. They would have got some plays out there, got him out on the edge. He'd have been running around like it's got Randall Cunningham.
Did he ever have a winning season?
Yeah, he went up to Canada and won a few Grey Cups.
No, we're talking about in the Shield, bro.
Shield didn't want black quarterbacks back in the 80s.
Wait a minute, I think he went to the playoffs. Didn't they go one time?
Playoffs. It seems like they was flirting with it. I don't know. They might have got in it. I think he did get in a wild card.
They made the wild card.
Yeah. They didn't believe in him.
No, they didn't. And they used to let him get racked up too.
Yeah.
They used to let him get.
You know what I was looking at, man? If you look at the Bears as far as punt and kick returners, they probably got the best ever
in history.
I give you 4 guys, and we had 3: Hester, Gale Sayers. Those 2 alone would knock out everybody. But then you throw in Dennis Gentry, and Willie Go. He used to kick return.
Speedy Willie, yeah. And we're gonna get the guy
defense. Go ahead. You throwing the guy they had this year. Raheem Grant came out there.
Hey, Dennis McKinnon used to return kicks.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dennis McKinnon, but I'm gonna say this. Along those lines, even our offensive lines we've had some of the worst, but we've had some of the greatest linemen in the history of the game.
Yeah, because Peyton really suffered. I actually looked. Those guys I gave you for my offensive line for the Bears, every one of them is a Hall of Fame. And only one of them is from the 85 Bears, Jimbo Covert. So other than Covert on the 85 team, and don't get me wrong, that line we had was great.
It was great.
That was at the end of Walter's career.
Yeah.
Correct.
He was at the end. So he went from 77 up to like 84 with basically no line.
That's why, in my mind, he's the greatest football player to ever put on a helmet in any era.
With no line.
Position.
And you got to think about all the yards that were taken away by number 65, Noah Jackson, holding 65, holding. That's going to come back. That's number 65. He's holding again.
And then you remember Walter used to hit the defense, and then he used to pop back up, never laid down. He'd pop right back up off the ground. First one back in the huddle. 10 for 10, I think, passing. Had about his QB rating is higher than anybody in history.
Yeah,
he could punt, kick. That guy was a football player.
He could block everything.
Block. Oh my God, his blocks protecting the quarterback.
Yeah, his blocks was.
I mean, that's back when the Bears used to draft football players. They wouldn't.
You gotta, if you watch that third game from '85 when we playing the Vikings on Monday night, when he brought McMahon in when we was getting our butts kicked, right?
Right.
On the first play, and he audible. Jim will tell you he audible, and they blitz up the middle. And if you watch it carefully, watch what Peyton does to that blitz, because he hits guard on the street. But you have to watch what Walter did on that blitz right up the middle, tore him up. I was like, oh man.
So I think our backfield we agreed on. We had Bronco Nagurski, walking paper, Sid Luckman.
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it is. You can play against anybody with that. Anybody.
Yeah, you throw them wideouts I got on there. You throw Dick in there at the tight end, throw Marty Booker on one end, and that crazy guy on the other end. They're gonna be tough to deal with. Them big receivers, and they used to block too.
Now, the one thing I got to give Sayers credit for, and my boy Salver, he pointed this out to me earlier, is when they were playing at those times in the 60s. They weren't passing a lot. So most of the team, you knew that it was predominantly they're going to run the ball. And Sayers had to do what he did. And a lot of times, if you remember, there wasn't a lot of dome. If there was any dome stadiums back there, almost everything was outdoors.
Same day with Peyton.
Yeah, but I remember this particularly before they had AstroTurf, right? Deacon Jones, he says, the worst thing is he was a mutter. He said the man ran in the mud just as good as he did on regular grass. He could still cut and move and accelerate.
Well, we did running back. We did everything. So running back 2, will we all agree our RB2, our backup is Gale Sayers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You could switch them up if you wanted. You could have both of them because Peyton is so good.
He could catch. Remember, Peyton could catch. I would actually, Sayers would probably be my third down back. I'd hate to pull Peyton out and he'd hate me for it. But I'd probably third and long situations, I'd have Gale Sayers out there.
I'll put it to you this way. I'd have Peyton and Sayers starting because Peyton could play fullback. Because you got to remember, Sayers was like 6'2", 6'3". I'd only bring in, he could. You telling me he
I agree. I agree. He could.
I'd only bring in.
He could play any position on the field, damn near.
Yeah. I'd bring in Nagurski whenever it was short yardage and you needed him to plow somebody over. Then I'd bring him in to fullback.
You'll come up missing. Putting Peyton to make sure you put you in this trunk. I don't think Peyton would go for playing fullback. I'm not blocking for Gale Sayers. He would though. He was a football player, but I hear you. All right. So y'all got any other comments on this? Because next week we're doing we're gonna do the defense. That's gonna be fun. And then we're gonna do coaching. So you guys make sure you got an offensive coordinator in mind, a defensive coordinator in mind.
I got a question for y'all.
Coach.
I got a question for y'all. I want to see if y'all match what I got. So outside of Peyton and Sayers, who was your next running back? And not fullback, running back for the Bears. That's what make you think.
I mean, I think it'll be a tie between Neil Anderson and Matt Forte. But I would probably go with Matt Forte.
Yeah, I thought Neil Anderson right away. I didn't even think about Matt Forte. He gave us some great years.
I love Thomas Jones. We just didn't play for the
Yes,
Bears.
that's what I was thinking about. Thomas Jones, but they let him go. But you can't hold that against him too much because he was a bear. So if I had to choose, if I could choose Thomas Jones would be my number 3.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Matt Forte, man, all day. Matt Forte was like and I say this as a compliment, a bootleg Marcus Allen. That's what he reminded me of. A bootleg Marcus Allen.
Poor man's Marcus Allen.
Yeah. He was a gamer too, man. He didn't get hurt
Poor man's
too much
Marcus because he was black.
He didn't get hurt too much.
He's colored.
Yeah,
I had Thomas Jones back there, but he is less versatile than Forte was.
Yeah. But he was he should have won. He should have won us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they got rid of him. I just can't understand why they let him go, man. And he used to play against the Packers, boy. He was up for that game.
Because he was at the end of his career when they got him. He was already
crazy. He went back to the Pro Bowl after he went to the Jets.
Yeah, when I say the end of his career, meaning on the downward side, he only had like a couple more years left. If you
but they should have re-signed him, man.
Yeah, they traded him.
But because they didn't want to have to re-sign him in free agency.
Yeah, but if they would have given him the ball in the Super Bowl instead of letting Sexy Rexy keep throwing interceptions, we'd have won that game against the Colts.
All right, so I'm gonna start out with Ace. Go ahead and throw us your final words on today's show, and then I'm gonna throw it to Diesel so we can close this out.
My final words: we're gonna send a rest in peace to the Dwayne Haskins kid out there, and from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who unfortunately, for whatever reason, was walking across the highway down there in Miami. It's tough to drive across those highways, let alone get out of your car and start walking. So,
wearing all black. Go ahead.
Yeah. They said it was a young lady passed out in the car, and I guess the circumstances will come out in the near future. But condolences to him and his football family and his immediate family. Hopefully, they find out what happened. And God bless him.
Yeah, we were supposed to cover that. It's been some negative coverage by ex-football player and the media. That guy on ESPN talking about he was a subpar quarterback, and then the other guy was just talking crazy. But we'll have to add that next week because, I dropped that. Well, it was an old white dude from back in the day, a lineman, I think, was talking about how he should have stayed in college and none of this would ever happen. I mean, it went all crazy in the Twitterverse. So, But Ace, if that's all you have for your final words, I'll throw it to Diesel.
R.I.P. Haskins. I don't really have to wait until we hear what actually happened as far as him getting hit by that truck. I'm a little disappointed with. ESPN, they keep doing this. Like, remember how I told you guys the thing with the golf and the thing that Phil Mickelson did, and you notice he didn't play at the Masters?
Yeah.
They rarely brought that up at all through the telecast. And remember, I watched it pretty much the whole weekend throughout. Never really heard them talking about it. Maybe they did on a pre-show or something, because, it goes for a lot of hours, but I never really heard them saying nothing. But then the thing I told you guys about Jerry Jones, they haven't, I ain't seen it on First Take. I ain't seen them have one segment on that about him. Now today, the Washington commandos or whatever. This was yesterday, where I read that Congress is investigating them for all kinds of stuff that they taking money. These guys, and I didn't hear this on First Take at all, nothing. But I guarantee if it's something with a black coach or something to that effect, and we're talking about an owner, and he keeps getting into stuff. He's already had the sexual harassment lawsuits, but apparently these guys have been like ticket holders or whatever. They've been like cheating them or refunding them money and stuff. Man, it's huge. I'm gonna send both of you guys the article, and I read that and I was like, this is crazy. And Congress is talking about, we need to look into this, because they're basically saying they done cheated financially. It's like a tax thing, I'm pretty sure. But you guys ain't heard nothing about it, have you?
Nothing about it. And Adam Schefter is all involved, and ESPN just re-signed him for like 6 more years. If he was some sort of colored, he'd have been fired.
Yeah, he's always got his fingers stuck in his butt and into something else at the same time. Like one in his butt and one in this way. And he's and he don't never get in trouble.
Yeah.
If he does, we don't know about it. If he does, at least I can say whenever they get Stephen A in trouble, we know about it. You know what I mean?
What's the origin of his last name?
Exactly. I was just thinking that, Ace. I gotta research who his family is, man. He's probably got billionaire parents or something, but he was all in those emails too. And Adam Schefter was he was letting that owner you're talking about of the Redskins, he was letting him basically edit every article he wrote about them to make sure it was okay. And Adam Schefter was found to have been helping an agent. So agents would contact him. So Ace, if you were an agent and you got a player, you'd have Adam Schefter talk good about him and talk high about him, and all that came out. And
he's compromised.
Yes,
that means everything he's doing, his integrity is gone.
Yes.
Oh my God, man.
And as a journalist, and why would the network even tolerate that? Exactly. He was supposed to have been fired.
Crazy.
I think we're going to cover Adam Schefter the week after next, because we're doing the Bears. But it's going to be our hottest topic. We're going to get some data on this guy. I'm going to research things and see where we're at.
Now this thing with the football team or whatever they call themselves now, that stuff is so huge. I could actually see them pulling ownership from him, pulling the ownership, because it was already a class action for the sexual stuff that they had.
They made Chucky the fall guy. They haven't even released their emails yet. They still it's thousands of emails. No,
they never will,
because so many people are involved.
Right, but this stuff now, it's even worse. You've been taking them. Because I don't want to say exactly, because I can't remember exactly what it was, but I mean just straight financial BS what they was doing. Like cheating the people and the fans out of money.
Yeah.
Man,
basically stealing money. Well, we're gonna unpack that the week after next, y'all. Week after next. They're playing this off. My executive producers walking around.
Yeah.
So we hit the final words. My final words, as I'll say as well, rest up. For the unfortunate quote passing end quote of Haskins. I was in a chat and I said, pardon the pun. It was an unfortunate quote end quote passing. Oh, they let me have it. Said I was insensitive. And I said, rest up. You know what I mean? Like when I was typing it, I was like, oh, that's ironic. You know what I mean? But seriously, to his family, condolences and everything. And as they said, and you guys said, the truth is going to come out, and we'll probably have a lot more information on it next week to unpack as well. Tomorrow, next Wednesday, tune in to the Self-Love Show. That's at 8 p.m. Central Standard. We're lining up a guest for you, working on it at this time. And then next week, the Self-Love Show. And then next week, right here on Mouthpiece Included, we're unpacking the Bears' all-time defensive team, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and head coach, the Bears. So if you find yourself traveling through the city of Chicago or the streets of Inglewood, better check your six. Check your blind spot. Put them dukes up. Guard your grill. Knuckle up. And don't forget to. Somebody threw their mouthpiece out in the stands too, Ace. In the NBA, hit a little girl. And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Yeah.